So hello and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. I have noticed for at least the past 5 days that rank trackers or keyword trackers, as they're also referred to, have stopped working. Okay. Now, some keyword trackers have been honest enough to paste a message on their dashboard saying that they're having temporary technical issues, but they've not gone into what those technical issues are. Other keyword trackers have not been honest. They are making you believe that it's business as usual when it is not. And I have proof of it. So, a few days ago, TechCrunch published this article says Google begins requiring JavaScript for Google search. Now, to be clear, it does not mean that your website should have JavaScript in order for it to show up in Google search. As people who were sending me messages wanted to know, it's in fact that if you want to use Google search on your browser, you need to make sure the JavaScript is enabled. So if JavaScript is not enabled on your browser, Google search will not work. Now, I've tried to use Google search without JavaScript. It still works, by the way, but maybe that will change at some point. And I think the reason why Google has made this change is because Google has to and wants to block rank trackers. So over here in an email to TechCrunch, a company spokesperson, which means Google spokesperson, claimed that the change is intended to better protect Google search against malicious activities such as bots and spam, and to improve the overall Google search experience for users. The spokesperson noted that without JavaScript, many Google search features won't work properly, and that the quality of search results tends to be degraded. Uh, it has not degraded in the past 20 plus years, and I don't think not having JavaScript will mean that it's going to degrade. But the fact is that they're trying to block bots, and they're trying to block specific bots that do rank tracking. So enabling JavaScript allows us to better protect our services, their services and users from bots and evolving forms of abuse and spam, the spokesperson told TechCrunch, and to provide the most relevant up-to-date information. Many majority websites rely on JavaScript. According to a 2020 GitHub survey, 95% of sites around the web employ the language in some form. But as users on social media point out, Google's decision to require it could add friction for those who rely on accessibility tools, which can struggle with certain JavaScript implementations. It also goes against Google's whole usability guidelines because, if you remember, if your website is heavily JavaScripted, Google has a problem crawling it. So now this switch is kind of strange. So one of Google's motivations here, and it says in the article, which I've linked to in the description, by the way, if you want to read the whole thing, because I'm not reading the whole thing. So one of Google's motivations here is maybe inhibiting third-party tools that gives insights into Google search trends and traffic. According to a post on Search Engine Roundtable on Friday, a number of rank tracking tools that indicate how websites were performing in search engines began experiencing issues, and Google search around the same time Google's JavaScript requirements came into force. This is what I was talking about. So a lot of these tools have to update the way they scrape Google search. Now, the problem with JavaScript is it's not as simple and straightforward to scrape the SERPs as it is if it's just HTML. So now, tool makers will have to find a way to make money, and they will have to find a way to circumvent Google's JavaScript. And the problem with JavaScript is that every time you circumvent it, Google can update the script and close that hole and make it harder to circumvent, which at some point makes it not a viable business solution. And so you might see many of the less technically inclined tool makers stop making money off their services. Okay. Also, the less technical ones may not provide as accurate as tracking. So that's also going to be an issue at some point. Let me know if your rank tracker is working and if you've noticed any issues with your tracker. Like and subscribe as always. Leave a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy ranking.